Why is it so hard to start? Why is it so hard to start anything? I think for me, it's because we have this expectation of when we start, this is the moment. This is the moment where if you don't accomplish what you set out to accomplish, even by a little bit, even though you're just starting, you feel like a failure. This is how it feels for me. I don't know if anyone else feels like this. And I think that's why it's so difficult for me to start. I've always had a very, very vivid imagination. But even if you're not like me and you don't have a vivid imagination, when you write down your goals and you write down where you want to be in the future, sometimes that place that you want to be, that destination, you feel it. It's so real that when you're starting out, the first moment you hit a hiccup, you feel like a failure. Why? Because things are not going according to the way you think they're supposed to be going. But at the end of the day, it's all a part of the process to get there. And I get it, I get it. We don't want to hear it's a part of the process, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I was just talking to someone the other day. What's even worse than starting for me is starting over. Because I'm a firm believer that if we get to a certain level, if we reach a certain point in the process of whatever it is that we're doing, whether it's dieting, whether it's going to the gym, whatever you set yourself out to do, the goal, I believe that when you make it to a certain point and then you backslide and then you fall off and you have to start over, you start imagining how long it took you to get to that point where you were somewhat successful right before you stopped. And now you have to go back over that process again of getting up or being disciplined or just whatever it is, whatever it took for you to get to where you've gotten before you decided to quit. You have to go back through that whole process again. And for me, one of the biggest fears is if I reach that point again, will I stop again? For whatever reason, I decided to not continue on the process, not continue on with my goals, or not continue on with the plans. For whatever that reason is, I believe it's going to come back up. I wholeheartedly believe that it's going to come back up. And in the am I strong enough now that when I reach that point, I won't quit again? I get it. Why is it so difficult to start? It's because we believe that when we don't reach that point that we have jotted down inside of our book, that end point, that end destination, that we somewhat failed. That we somewhat failed. I believe that's why we don't start. Now, for me, what I'm doing right now is I'm practicing on this new camera that I have, with this new microphone that I have, with this new lighting setup that I have. Why? Because my business entails me to shoot clients in a video capacity now. And I don't want to get in front of a client and not know how to set up the lighting or not know how to operate my system or know how to operate the audio system. So that's why I'm practicing now. But it took me a while to get to this point to press start, even with practicing. Practicing is so important. It helps give us that confidence. It's like saying a difficult word for the very first time. Imagine trying to say a difficult word for the very first time in a group of people that you think is going to laugh at you if you don't say the word correctly. But if you say it at least once or twice or maybe 3 times on your own prior to happening to say it in front of that audience, I believe that you might feel a little bit more confident saying it in front of the audience than saying it for the very first time. For me, I believe that it's that familiarity of just doing something over and over and not doing it for the very first time that breaks the ice of nervousness, that breaks the ice of just getting over that hump of moving forward. This is my second YouTube video. Here I am, once again, practicing. Not only for me, but maybe to inspire you or maybe to send a message to anyone out there that wants to start. Do whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you need to tell yourself so that you can start and begin the process of wherever it is that you're trying to do or wherever it is that you're trying to start. It's not easy. I'm hoping that the lighting is correct. And if it's not correct, I'm going to go back and I'm going to reevaluate this and I'm going to make sure that I get the lighting positions correct. So then that way, when I'm working with clients, I know exactly where to place the light. And if I don't get that desired result that I want, I can go back to this practice right here and say, well, I know that when I set it up approximately this many feet from the camera or this many feet from my subject, this is the desired result that I do like, that I did get. But it all came from practicing, and that practicing all came from me starting, so I get it. It's very difficult to get up and to begin anything brand new, especially something that you may have within your mind or written within your tablet of or your journal to start. It's very difficult. I get it. I'm a procrastinator. You're probably a procrastinator. That's probably why you're watching this. But at some point, we have to start putting what we believe to be a beautiful idea. We have to start placing it and putting it into reality. And if it falls short of where we expected it to be, then we have to accept that, go back and see why it didn't live up to the expectation that we thought it did live up to the expectation. But whoa, 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 whoa. But also let the idea mature. Let the failures mature. Let the practice mature. Let the process mature. But it all starts by starting. I'm not an expert on starting, so I don't want you to think that. I'm actually a photographer who's expanding his business into videography, but I felt very compelled to get in front of my camera to test it out, to use it, to start, so that I could become familiar with it. I also felt compelled to come in and to record this and to upload it to you because that's something else I had on my bucket list, to start a channel. I also felt compelled to turn on these lights and position them where I believe that will help me be better for when I'm in front of my clients, so that I can be as confident speaking to them or making proposals, or I can meet their expectations for what they're looking for when I get the call. But it all happened because I started. So I hope that this is inspiration and motivation to you or to anyone else that may be looking at this. Go ahead and start.